welcome to our next episode of Sunday Prep. Jim, how are you doing today?
Father Matt, I'm doing great. I'm feeling like we're up and running, right? We keep talking about this. I feel like the last few weeks we've been building and building and building, and then here we are, right? So we're starting off this upcoming Sunday, September 1st, and boom, it's like let's do this. And so, yeah, we've been having a lot of preparation, a lot of excitement, and yeah, now we get to do stuff. I mean, you know this, Father, right? Like, there's a lot of time that's spent kind of in parish life, and any kind of administrative life, right? Like, you have a lot of meetings, you have a lot of like preparation, like you got to sit, you got to prepare some documents, you got to send out some messages. But at the end of the day, it's like we signed up to do the thing. So whether it's like classes or school or formation programs or parish life activities and festivals, whatever they are, it's like, yeah, there's kind of an excitement to like, let's do the thing. So, but yeah, no, I'm doing well. I'm excited. And yeah, how are you feeling today?
Just about the same. Just as you said, we are really finally at the point where summer is over. We are getting things ready. More and more will be opening as September goes on. Little by little, of course, we are not throwing everything at once, but with September coming this weekend, we know that school starts. Parish meetings will start annual Bible studies, faith formation programs at the end of the month. I mean, there's gonna be more and more coming back, and of course the meetings that keep our parish alive with all the things that we have, prayer groups and all people that are really moving things to have in the church. It's the parish life is not only priest. The parish life are the people, and the more we are able to encourage and engage people with doing things, being a part of things here, that's what keeps it really alive. And here at Saint Cecilia, yes, I need to say, we do not sit when the year starts. So with that being said, yes, I'm happy. Things will go back to the routine, if you want to say it this way. But at the same time, it's going to be excitement because so many things are coming up this year, like a lot. So I hope many more will hear the message and join us to be of help with beautiful celebrations that are ahead of us. But talking about celebrations, talking about everything, family and church, our parish community, that's great. But primarily, we are here to listen to the Word of God, to implement all of that He has given us into our everyday life. So, as we get together in this weekend, for me, it was the second reading from James that we will hear this Sunday, and the reading opens with this two sentences. All good giving and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no alteration or shadow caused by change. He willed to give us birth by the word of truth, that we may be a kind of first fruits of his creation. I mean, there is something, especially in the first sentence, that really strikes me. In my let's call it professional life as a priest, many times I will meet with people. I will not only in the office, to talk, but even after the masses, after the services, walking around the like whatever, even in the store, in ShopRite, in Rockaway. There is no place I have specifically assigned, but there are places that I go around. As you know me, I'm never a priest who sits for 5 minutes still, and talking to people, sharing with as they share with me, and I try to respond. Many times I will actually hear, why does God give me the bad things? Why does God give me something that is hard for me to carry? What is the reason? Besides of course, sin, and He knows that we know that this is what really puts on us the bad things, but I still will hear, why does God give me those bad things that happen in my life? And often I will be like, as far as I know and I can tell, there was not even one time he gave us a bad gift that came down from heaven. Um, all the things that we receive from the Father, his life, love, grace, light, strength, hope, and I can go on. I can go on and on and on with all the good gifts. Where is the opposite coming from? It's not from the Lord. It's actually coming from the other guy, from the evil, from the sin. All that God is giving us, the good gifts, the evil is trying to destroy. Not destroy them even in us, sometimes destroy them before even we receive them. And he is doing that out of jealousy. And that beauty and that jealousy is destroying so much beauty that comes from heaven. But that's exactly what the evil will always do: destroy the beautiful, the love, the hope, encouragement. He will do everything possible to do that, and he will do it in different ways. It was after sin, it was after the sin that pain came to be, and all this good always be fought and try to be destroyed by the evil one. And so, what is this reading really about, and what it reminds me of? It reminds me of all the good gifts that we are receiving. The Lord wants us to share and be in this life in its fullness, in the glory that He wants to bestow upon us. But we need to be always mindful that evil will always be there to take it away or to destroy it from us. And with that being said, I want to wrap it up here so that you have the image of, how for me personally, because I'm speaking here personally, how I see, and from the church's teaching, what I received, and that's how I see it. All just as James described, all the good gifts, all the perfect gifts come from above, and those perfect gifts are really God Himself giving Himself to us. So I'm gonna pass it on to Jim.
Yeah, Father, this is I'm thinking about um some of the wildest and most amazing saints in the history of the church. I'm thinking of like someone like Saint Francis of Assisi. And as much as Francis of Assisi, I think we kind of turn into a bit of a cartoon character where he's just like prancing through the wilderness, like talking to the birds, and like he was an intense man who took on so much like suffering, and offered himself, his body, his life, everything as a sacrifice, um, for the salvation of souls. Right? He loved the Lord so much, and the reason why I'm kind of like thinking of Francis is because the way that I think Francis looked at the world, and a lot of the great saints, is kind of what I think the Apostle James is kind of drawing out a little bit in this very short little part that we read here. All good giving and every perfect gift is from above. You know, I think we're like a spoiled country and a spoiled culture in a lot of ways. And a lot of us have grown up in a very kind of spoiled sense, which is to say, like, we've always had stuff. We've always had like belongings and material possessions. And, Christmas, there's always some gifts under the tree, and birthdays, there's always presents. And, we kind of get stuff that we start to kind of like forget the value of like a gift. And we start to think of gifts as like obligations that people owe to us, right? Like, so if my birthday rolls around next year and nobody gives me anything, like not a single person gives me like an actual physical present, there's a part of me that would be like sad, but that would be totally wrong, because I don't, like, formally speaking, like I don't deserve a gift, because a gift is something that's unearned, it's undeserved, and it's freely given, right? Because it's not unearned and undeserved, and it's not freely given, then it's just payment, or it's some sort of transaction of like, I give you this because you gave me that, as opposed to like this expression of love of, I want to give something to, from the lover to the beloved, right? And so I think we have this kind of distorted, spoiled sense of gift, and we kind of relate it to the idea of like obligation and holidays, where you just have to get stuff. And we all, I think, fall victim to that. But I think it distorts our worldview, because like going back to like Francis of Assisi and all the great saints, they saw everything from God as a gift, right? Because they saw their very life as undeserved and unearned, and God freely giving to them everything. So whether it was in their poverty or their wealth, or whether it was in their education or lack of education, whether it was in their healthy relationships or unhealthy, like every aspect of life, lived through the eyes of the most intense saints, is to view God as the ultimate gift giver. And that everything that we do receive, whether on the surface it kind of can be perceived as like, well, yeah, I mean, I have a job, but it's not the best job. Or, yeah, I've got, a wife, but she's not the best. Like, whatever the thing is that we start to kind of compare and think, like, I have a thing, but I don't have the best of things. It becomes a place of like resentment and a place of contention. And so I think that there's room for us to kind of consider, what does it mean to really think about gifts and the perfect gift that God gives to us, and that perfect gift is, of course, Christ himself. So yeah, this perfect gift that we receive, it's all the things in this world, of course, life and freedom and grace, but ultimately it's Christ. And so the perfect gift that we receive from above is the Lord himself, who enters into our messiness, our brokenness, and even though he becomes like us in all things but sin, he's able to transform our lives and transform and to kind of bring that redemptive quality of his grace and the transformative power of his grace to all aspects of our lives. And so, yeah, like Francis of Assisi or all the great saints who maybe seemed a bit too intense, they really kind of understood this idea of gift, that all aspects of the life are a gift. And ultimately, the greatest gift is Christ himself, who gives himself. So yeah, when we're having a bad day, we can rejoice because life is a gift. When we're going through tough times, we can rejoice because we've received this gift. And we might all want better gifts and more gifts and all kinds of things. But I think the more appropriate kind of way to approach the Lord and to understand our relationship with the Lord, which helps us to kind of live a better and more full life, is to kind of see things through this lens. That we don't deserve what we get. We don't earn what we get. The Lord is not like the cosmic vending machine where, like, I said my prayers and now you give me my blessing. It's freely given to us, but the Lord loves us. And I think that's what makes our faith so wonderful, is that the Lord loves us, not because he has to love us, because he chooses to love us. And he offers gifts and graces and blessings to us, not because he owes us or because he's obligated because it's our birthday or some other kind of reason going on, but it's because he cares and he loves. And I think if we saw everything through that lens, I think it would be very transformative. Now, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. If it was, we'd all be St. Francis of Assisi, which we're just not. Like, we struggle. But it's a good step forward to think about, what are the gifts in my life? Even the things that are, a challenge. I think anybody who has, this would be maybe my last thought, I think anyone who's experienced something like a near-death experience or a close call, right, suddenly has that instant like perspective of like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm thinking of when I was, I think about 18 or 19 or so, driving on the highway, and I fell asleep while driving, and I went off the road and into kind of like the middle, grassy area between the highway, and woke up as I was about to go up into oncoming traffic. And it was terrifying, and swerved and was safe. Ultimately, nothing happened, thanks be to God. But in that like instant, like suddenly your perspective changes, and suddenly like the bad day you were having before that suddenly becomes like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, life is good. Like, and so that maybe is whatever, one example, but there's lots of examples we've all had where we kind of have that perspective where we realize like, no, this is a gift. Life is a gift. This person in my life is a gift. Even the thing that seems like a struggle is a gift. And ultimately, God himself is that gift. So something for us to rejoice in and to kind of to show thanksgiving to God for.
And sure it is. James is leading us this Sunday, and we'll hear also the other obligation and things that God has given us, but most especially he himself who is giving himself to us. That is itself a beautiful, one of the most beautiful gifts. And he is doing that every time we come to him, every time we ask of his help, every time we literally are with him. That's when he is giving us the most beautiful gift, and himself. And so let us meditate upon that, and reflect that, because we tend to forget that he is the one not only who gave us this life, but he is giving his life so that we may go through this into the next with him. And so, with that being said, if you're traveling, if you're visiting this long weekend, please be safe. But of course, we'll see you in church for the most holy Eucharist, the gift of heaven here on earth. Many blessings, and we'll see you Sunday. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.